Sorry. The victims are mainly Africans. The reason is that if you go to Ajegunle and see how some people stay there, you can find such things more easily in African communities. And many of them are not well educated. So if you get to Mushi, where some people live, certainly. No, in some sections of Mushi, not the whole of Mushi. You know that area now. You know the area. So you see some people. Those things are easily seen in black communities, and it took time. So these are people that have been under oppression for a very long time. Like I told you, that their lives with the Martin Luther King revolution, their lives just started then. Because prior to that time, blacks were regarded as slaves. So the real victims are the blacks. And that's why we have this Black Lives Matter. Even with that, the message has been sent. It will take a very long time. Since this thing did not change in Obama's time,
yes. I actually think it's changing.
Time before it
actually, that's why we disagree. I think it's changing because Obama was able to put in certain institutionalized changes. That is, putting more money into police training and hiring more of minorities into the police. That will reduce it a lot. And I think if Hillary continues with that, if she becomes president, it will reduce it somehow. And the fact that we are not aware of it, there's more awareness. I mean, you just never, for instance now, they are requiring every police officer to wear body cam. So we can see what you're doing. So that is
a mental problem.
And the federal government, the federal, see, again, if you know you're being watched, somebody is looking at you, the propensity to commit atrocity is greatly reduced because you know you'll get caught. And then you will go to jail.
Stop.
You know, so no, I mean, smoking dope hasn't stopped. No crime can stop in that country. But with higher awareness,
the
bias can't stop. But with higher awareness and more programs that will help these officers to identify what the problems are, that will put more black folks in the police force or the police, state police, and the federal government actually funded that body campaign, and so that will work. Little by little.
Even black policemen will kill blacks. The way, see, when
we are talking about racially motivated killing.
When a system
it's not that the police just shooting somebody.
There is no way the black policemen will be greater in number than the white policemen. And when a system is structured...
Well, that's not true.
Sorry, let me say something. I believe that when a system is structured against a group of people, even if you take some of the people from that place and uplift them, the Gulf, the police in most crimes, they have this mentality that is between them and we. So even black policemen in America may likely treat blacks almost the same way that white policemen.
You're correct, but my own thing is the racially motivated killings. In the District of Columbia, you have more black police officers than white, and you don't have this kind of greater killing. Even in Maryland, where you have large black population. So I'm saying the more blacks you have in the police force, the lesser the likelihood of this happening, and the more training you have. Most of these police officers, what is the requirement? Before, you don't have a high school. Now they've increased it to have some college. In some communities, you have to have a bachelor's degree. That means you have interacted with a lot of people before you even get into the police academy. And more training, more sensitivity training will actually help. And it's helping because the data is showing that to know that somebody is watching you, and I could be carrying a camera, and you yourself must wear a camera. There's a camera in the car, in front of the car, in the back of the car, the police troopers. And you are wearing a camera, so everybody is seeing what is the reason why we know about this.
Get to court the
the reason why we know of this killing was because of this exposure.
That's what I even wanted to ask. How come most times when these cases get to court, most times the police officers involved in these crimes Or should I say, in this incident, most
yes,
they go free.
Let me address that, because you're now talking about litigation and how the judiciary works.
That's right.
No, look, if you empanel a jury and say, look at all this, okay, and they come up with what dictates most of these cases is what was the police officer seeing from a very, very subjective point of view. Not even objective, but subjective. If a police officer looks at you, you reach into your pocket. If you're not pulling a gun, you're pulling a book, and he thought this was a gun, what just going to do at that point? Just say, okay, fine, let's find out what he's pulling, and then it turns out to be a gun, and then you get shot. So, but those are the things that they raise as defense when you go in front of this jury, and this jury, they have police officers in there. So you can look at it and say, well, most of those cases where the police officers are, and let's be true, some of them went to jail. Some of them, long-term jail.
And the majority
exactly.
are acquitted.
But, well, I don't know about the majority, but I know some are acquitted, and I'm telling you, the standard of acquittal is just like what the defense will be. What is the police officer perceives danger, he will react. Okay, some of the danger may be unreasonable, but danger still.
I'm very curious about this. Reacting to, a police officer's commands. A police officer draws a gun on you. The language is the language you understand. It's English enough, and then tells you to put your hands behind your head or on your car, and then your hands go towards your pockets. Some of these incidences are the reason why these police officers, go unpunished. But wouldn't you say that it now becomes the culpability of the victim?
Yes. You see, as a father, I train my children. When the police say stop, you stop. Okay? You obey. Even I obey the command and say, raise up your, I do all those things. Yes, culpability of the victims. But again, you're right. You're supposed to obey the police. If you don't obey the police, you are only putting your own life.
Good. I want to make a short contribution to this. I believe in history. If you look at the history of a people, it hardly leaves them. The history of America is the history of oppression of the black man. The black man will over time have improvement in his life. But neither Clinton nor Trump will end the oppression of the black man. Whether he's trained to raise up his hands when stopped by police or put it sideways, the oppression will continue.
But it's within the same
gentlemen, system. I think this is where we will have to end it, whether or not Clinton or Trump would end it or not. But for the coverage of the United States presidential election 2015, here, excuse me, 2016, I'm sorry, it's been a long night. I'm just going a year back in time. 2016, indeed. You've been watching it here in our Lagos studios on Channels Television Live. And of course, special thanks also to our colleagues at the Intercontinental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos, Amarachi Ubani and Chamberlain Uso. And of course, my colleague, Temitokwe Fagbemi, and of course, our guests in the studio, the two lawyers, Mr. Chukwemeka Eze and Mr. Muiwa Shobo. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Charles Eruka. Have a wonderful day ahead, and definitely will be staying with the results of the U.S. presidential election until it is all done and dusted. Good morning.